should come to the Southeast, and here is why.
The Southeast is bordered by the Southwest, the Midwest, and the Northeast regions. The Southeast is surrounded by a lot of water, like the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic Ocean.
There are so many geographic features like the Mississippi River and the Great Smoky Mountains. In Georgia, there are the Blue Ridge Mountains, and they cut right through northern Georgia.
In the Southeast, there are a lot of huts in the forest of Mississippi. There are a lot of famous cities like Miami, Atlanta, and New Orleans. They have arenas and stadiums for basketball and football.
The climate in the Southeast, the climate of the Southeast region in the United States is more wet. The climate is rainy sometimes, so bring an umbrella and a raincoat. The average rainfall is 64, 96 inches per year. Some locations like Alabama and Florida have humidity in the air.
The Southeast has so many interesting places I'm going to tell you about. When you're on vacation or out from school, you might want to go to a park or something. Well, the Southeast has that and more. You could say the Southeast is a farming land, but had a part in slavery. The Southeast has many plantations, so many that was once known for them. The Southeast has many wetlands too. That could explain why it used to be known for its plantations. The wetlands have many plants and animals. You can also visit places like Kentucky, Virginia, North Carolina, and more.
Here's some fun facts.
The slaves were forced to work and didn't get paid.
I have to say, here's some fun facts.
The Mississippi River is one of the biggest rivers.
Mother's Day was made in the Southeast.
There are hurricanes.
There are hurricanes. The Southeast is a great place to visit.
West Region by
I'm Olivia.
I'm Ava.
I'm Jackson.
I'm Jax.
I'm Ellie K.
Have you ever wanted to go to the West? Then here are some things about the West. Have you ever wondered what borders the West region? First, let me tell you the names of the states. These are the names of the states in the West: Colorado, Utah, Nevada, California, Oregon, Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, Hawaii, Alaska, and finally, Washington. Did you know the West has the most elevation in the whole United States?
Landforms are so beautiful, but if you like to hike, Colorado has a lot of mountains to hike. The Devil's Tower is in Wyoming. The Devil's Tower is a big rock. Hawaii, it was formed by volcanoes. Alaska has a thick forests. The Yukon River flows west.
Have you ever been to any of the West cities in the West? If not, you should go to the beautiful West cities. The West has a lot of cities like Denver or San Francisco. Have you ever been to the Space Needle in Washington State. The San Francisco Zoo is a very popular zoo. San Diego.
The West is temperate. It is hotter in the summer and colder in the winter. In the mountains it is colder, on the plains it is hotter. The West also has a diverse range of temperature. The West has some of the least rainfall. In the West there are a lot of earthquakes and snowy mountains.
People visit the West because there's a lot of cool things to see and do. You can go to Red Rocks. It is used for concerts and movies in Colorado. You can go to Arches Park in Utah. The Native Americans lived there. There was not much food and water, but they worked to survive. You can go to Redwood Park in California. Redwood Park has some of the most beautiful hiking trails in the U.S.
Here's a couple of facts about the West.
Did you know that the West has some of the most beautiful national parks in the U.S.?
Did you know that Rocky Mountains are longer than the whole West region?
Did you know that California is one of the biggest states in the West?
Did you know that the Devil Tower is in the West?
Olivia never got.
The West is the biggest region in the U.S. That's
why you should go to the West. Excitement awaits you.
Have you ever been to the Midwest? If you haven't, then you should go there. The Midwest is located south of Canada, and it includes North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, and Wisconsin. If you are scared of heights, Wisconsin is for you because there are no mountains. There are a lot of lakes in the Midwest, lakes and rivers in the Midwest. If you do go to the Midwest, you should consider fishing there. If you were wondering what rivers are in the Midwest, they are called the Great Lakes and the Mississippi River. Some landforms are called the Great Plains and the Black Hills, and also landform is called the Ozark Mountains. The Mississippi River is very long and goes across many states. The Great Lakes are also very long. Come visit St. Louis because it has the tallest monument in the U.S. It is called St. Louis Arch. Iowa is an important city because a lot of people farm there. Some crops they grow are corn, wheat, and soybean. Des Moines became a city in 1843. Des Moines became the capital of Iowa in 1857.
The climate of the Midwest has warm, humid summers and cold winters. Tornadoes are mostly in Tornado Alley. Great Lakes can cause heavy snowfalls in the winter. That's the climate of the Midwest. The Midwest has so many interesting places, like Mount Rushmore, because it has 4 presidents. The 4 presidents are carved out of rock, which is pretty cool. There are more pretty amazing things in the Midwest, like the Crazy Horse Mural, Willis Tower, Mall of America, and Gateway Arch. Here's a city you might want to go to, Kansas City. You should definitely go there.
Over 75% of land are soybean and corn farms.
Mount Rushmore is in South Dakota. It is a national monument.
Did you know that bison live in North Dakota?
There is lots of crazy weather in the Midwest.
There is a highway that goes through some of the states.
We hope you have fun learning about the Midwest. Come to the Midwest. Southwest Region by
Connor,
Claire,
Mac,
Eliaf,
Sam,
Have you ever wanted to visit the Southwest? If you did, you came to the right place.
The Southwest is located north of Mexico and includes Arizona, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Texas. In the late 1860s, in Texas, they raised cattle in their ranches for food. In Texas, I personally suggest you go to the Space Center in Houston. In 1889, settlers rushed to Oklahoma to find land to make farms and ranches and grow crops. In Arizona, my favorite place to go is the Grand Canyon. Now on to Connor with the geographic features.
One geographic feature is deserts. They are really hot and dry. The Southwest is near the Rocky Mountains. The Rocky Mountains are next to the Pecos River. The Grand Canyon is also in the Southwest.
What? If you go to the Southwest, then you probably want to see some human-made features. Maybe you want to see the city of Mesa in Arizona. Or maybe you want to go to Austin, Texas. I recommend you go to the Johnson Space Center on NASA Road. The Southwest has the least amount of people in the region. Now, on to Mac with the climate.
In the Southwest, they only get 0 to 16 inches of rainfall each year. The Southwest is dry and does not get a lot of rain. It can be warm in the winter and hot in the summer. Some locations like Texas and New Mexico have hot climates.
There are many interesting places to visit in the Southwest. When you visit Texas, you will want to know that it covers 268,549 square miles. Here are some cool places in Texas. The Cravens Ranch is a fun place in Texas. A Kerrville town, a Bernie town, have lots of things that you can do there, such as shopping, going to football games, and basketball games.
Now on to the fun facts. Did you know that NASA Road was named that because NASA was testing rocket ships at the Johnson Space Center?
In New Mexico, some of the peppers there are purple and black.
A fun fact about the Southwest is a famous landmark, the Johnson Space Center.
Some parts of Texas have 64 to 96 storms.
The nickname of Texas is the Lone Star State.
You should go to the Southwest. Excitement awaits you.
My name is Emil, and we are doing the Northeast region.
I'm Aria.
I'm Eloise.
I'm Tara.
And I am Delia.
Welcome to the smallest region in the U.S., the Northeast. The Northeast is located south from Canada and includes 11 states, which are Pennsylvania, New York, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Maine, Maryland, New Jersey, Delaware, Rhode Island, Kentucky, Connecticut, and Vermont. The Northeast is bordered by the Atlantic Ocean and Canada. Canada is to the north, and the Atlantic Ocean is to the east.
The Northeast has some coastlines. It also shares one Great Lake with Canada. It has a famous waterfall called Niagara Falls, which is in western New York. It also has two waterfalls. Which was made by glaciers and is 170 feet above the river below. There's mountains called the Appalachian Mountains and a really long trail called the Appalachian Trail. And there's Washington Mountain.
The Northeast has a lot of amazing places, including New York City, the Statue of Liberty, and the city of Boston. There are also a lot of amazing museums, like the Titanic Museum and Amazing World of Dr. Seuss Museum.
The climate of the Northeast is temperate. Chilly weather into winter, but in the spring it's warm. In the summer it's hot and humid. Did you know that big snowstorms happen in the Northeast? Spring and fall is milder.
The Atlantic Ocean is a great place to go. You should also go to the Statue of Liberty. Also, you should definitely go to the Appalachian Mountains. The Titanic Museum is also a pretty interesting place. And also, you should definitely go to the White House.
The Northeast is the smallest region in the U.S.
Mount Washington is the tallest peak in the Northeast.
Over 15 million people live in New York City.
Niagara Falls was made 12,000 years ago.
Some of the Revolutionary War was in the Northeast.
Thank you for visiting the Northeast. I hope you liked this video.